Welcome to the Earlville Opera House in Earlville, New York. Today we will be talking about the Statewide Community Regrants Program 2026. Funding is provided by the New York State Council on the Arts and in Broome County by the Hoyt Foundation. The Earlville Opera House is a multi-art center serving central New York. We have an historic 1892 theater listed on the National Register of Historic Places, year-round performances, 3 art galleries, a gift shop, classes and workshops for all ages, an arts cafe venue for smaller events, and in summer 2026, we will unveil our courtyard amphitheater. What are Regrants? Founded in 1977, the Decentralization Program, or DEC, was developed by the New York State Legislature to ensure that New York State's cultural funding reaches every part of the state under the governance of the New York State Council on the Arts, or NYSCA. As of fiscal year 2022, this program is called the Statewide Community Regrants Program, or SCR. The SCR program has been administered in Chenango County since 1986 and by EOH since 2020. 2026 SCR. We have 2 categories, community arts and individual artist. $124,500 is available through NYSCA, and that includes additional funding for Broome County provided by the Hoyt Foundation. Individual artists who were funded in 2025 are not eligible in 2026. Community arts grants range from $500 to $4,000. Individual artist grants are a flat amount of $1,500. Projects must take place between April 1st, 2026 and March 31st, 2027. Community arts grants. Community arts grants provide support for arts and cultural projects to community-based not-for-profit organizations, groups and collectives, municipalities, and tribal nations. Individual artists can only apply for a community arts grant for a community-based project in partnership with a local not-for-profit organization. A letter of commitment must be provided by the partnering organization. Awards range from $500 to $4,000. A budget is required, and you may choose the format. Projects must be community-based and open to the public. Projects may include, but are not limited to, exhibitions, workshop series, performances, festivals, screenings, readings, or virtual programming. Funding priorities for community arts include artist fee support, production costs, marketing costs, administrative costs, and community impact and outreach. Individual artist grant. Individual artist grants represent a live and work investment in local artists and are designed to increase support for local artist-initiated activity for the creation of new work in a community setting. Individual artist applicants are not required to submit a project budget. Individual artist projects must include a form of community engagement to be determined by the artist. Awards are given in the amount of $1,500. Artists who received an individual artist grant in cycle 2025 are not eligible in 2026. Individual artist community engagement. The project must engage a segment of the community through a public program and/or inclusion of community involvement in the development and creative process. This can be in the form of feedback, response, or other interaction with community members. Examples include interviews, creation of parallel work by a community group, or stories and anecdotes collected from a community group. The engagement may take place at any point in the project. The project and engagement must take place during the grant year. Review criteria for all applicants: creativity, public service benefit, clearly defined planned objectives and the ability to achieve those objectives through an assessment component, organizational and artistic history, including stability, record of achievement, and fiscal accountability. Applying online. Earlville Opera House uses the online submission format Submittable, a cloud-based grant management system. The application process through our submission site and Submittable requires users to set up an account prior to accessing the grant application forms. After creating your account, you can access the SCR application form. The application form is filled out directly on the platform. You can save your application as a draft to continue your work later, and you can save it to download as a PDF. We recommend that you save your draft often as you are working on it. Things to consider when applying. Make sure your application is well written and organized. What funding priorities and criteria do your proposal meet? Who will collaborate on the application and the project? What is the project and where and when will it take place? Who will benefit from the project? How will you promote your project? Consider your targeted audience and be as detailed as possible. How will you define success? Remember, keep the grant guidelines handy. They are available on the EOH website. Use them for funding priorities, dates, review criteria, work sample needs, etc. Pre-submission reviews are available upon request up to 1 week before the grant deadline. March 6th at 5 p.m. is the last day for accepting pre-submission application reviews, so plan ahead. Applications must be submitted by 11:59 p.m. on Friday, March 13th, 2026 on the Submittable platform. No exceptions. Grantee responsibilities. You will be asked to sign a contract. Attend the award ceremony. Properly credit grant funding on publicity and press materials. Attend another grant recipient's event and submit an audit report. And submit a final report. We thank you for coming to this webinar. If you have additional questions, please email us at earlvilleoperahouse.com with the subject heading SCR 2026 question. Thank you again.